Hello and welcome to the F1 24 track guide and Hotlap series. This is a series where I show you guys how to go faster at each circuit, how to tackle the corners at all of the 24 circuits on the F1 2024 game. Today we are going to what is, in my opinion, the most challenging street circuit on the calendar, the Monaco Grand Prix. So difficult to overtake, but it's on the calendar because it's basically Monaco. I'll take you guys for a slow guide to show you how to tackle this track, and then the very fast push will be at the very end. One of the oldest tracks on the F1 calendar, the Monaco Grand Prix, and a real challenge for the drivers in a lot of circumstances. Heading up to turn number 1, Saint Devote, as they say, no heroics into Saint Devote. Get the car pointing in a straight line as soon as you start your lap, and then heavy on the brakes, shifting down to third gear. Early shift to fourth is optional. Now you can really cheese the first corner, but this is really easy to overcommit because there's no white line for the turn 1 curb at Saint Devote, so you got to really get the car as close to the edge of that line, and then on exit get right up against the wall. This is a track where you're going to be up against the wall basically the whole way around. It doesn't matter which side, if it's your left or your right. It's just going to be an absolute... This is a track where you really have to be focused 100% of the time. Up through Beau Rivage, heading up towards Massenet and Casino Square. Now for Massenet, get to the zebra crossing here. That's a good reference point. For gentle braking, you're definitely not 100% brake pressure all the way around. And so what you do is you're gentle on the brakes. You could probably coast. Just trail the brake to the end of the curb, then you can just coast for a little bit, apply a bit of throttle, about fourth gear, all the way around. And when you get up, when you get the car nice and straight, get the car straight quickly, and then you're almost turning in because the car will just want to keep. I'll rephrase that. You want to keep your mid-corner speeder for Casino Square. So once you get around the whole of Massenet, get the car straight and then choose your turning point, but definitely don't need too early for Casino because you'll hit the inside wall, and then the car will drift to the outside, get right up towards the Qatar Airways side, and then go over that big lump in the road that the drivers do all the time. And then once you get the car again sort of straight enough, for a lot of this lap there's no reference points and there's no real guidelines on where you can brake and what is a good reference point. So when you get past that little bump in the road, get the car nice and straight, and then braking for Mirabeau. Turn in is a little bit tricky. You can turn in early, run a little bit wider, or turn in late and keep hugging that inside apex. And then once you get down to Mirabeau, it's a short run down towards... I get confused whether it's if it's still called the Lowe's hairpin or the Grand Hotel hairpin, or if it's another name, but I really don't know. So once you get around that back turn there, just after Mirabeau, get your foot hard on the brakes, and then sort of turn in fairly sharply and as late as you can, so you're making a very late apex. Doesn't matter if you hit the curb or not, it's not going to take effect too much time. Get around the hairpin, the slowest corner on the F1 calendar, I'm pretty sure that is too. And then you can take turn 7. You can get up onto the bricks and the curb at turn 7, and then for Portier, turn in as late as you can. Braking point just before you get to the end of that orange fence, so that's a good reference point. And then turn in as late as you can for Portier, and then you can choose to either get up on top of the curbs or just keep the car planted to the ground into the Monaco tunnel, and on the run down towards the Nobel chicane. get out of the tunnel into the light, and then braking at the 100-meter board, very, very hard on the brakes. Just keep your foot flat, keep your foot very hard on the brake pedal, and then ease off just before you turn in to Novel, and then don't touch that inside wall because that can ruin your lap or your race. That has been known for catching out a lot of people. And then really get over that sausage curb, and you can definitely find lap time if you really cheese that corner very well. Get up hard against that little nudge with the wall there, and now down towards Tabac. I love this section. This is the section where you can make or break your lap. So gentle braking for Tabac, open up the corner as much as you can, so you really got to be on the outside. Very easy to turn in early and then hit the inside and then whammo into the outside. So really hit your mark, choose your turning point very much if you can, and then it's all about hugging that outside for the swimming pool chicane. So then just basically hit your apex, and then for the second part of the swimming pool chicane, once you get past, you sort of got to be, once you get past that back curbing, sort of got to wait about half a second and then press the brake pedal, and then really choose your turning point, because ideally you really want to be really leaning up against the wall on the inside, and then turning in early to cut the second part of the chicane, because you can definitely find a whole bunch of lap time, and those little milliseconds can really count in qualifying. And then heading down into Rascasse, braking and turning at the same time. One thing that you can do is stay to the left of the proximity arrows as much as you can, and then turn in not too late but pretty sharply to make a late apex, and to get the foot onto the accelerator a little bit quicker. First or second gear is optional, and then heading into Anthony Nose, the final corner, early shift up to 30 is definitely optional, and then turn in from about as wide as you can on entry to get the best possible run onto the one and only DRS zone on the circuit. And then hug the inside, or work your way to the outside to complete your lap, and to set yourself up again for Saint Devon. So a track that really demands a lot of the driver, and one that definitely needs peak concentration for so much of the lap, for the whole 78 laps of the race, definitely. So that was your guide of this historic Monaco Grand Prix racetrack. Time now for the fast hot lap. And that is your track guide of the Monaco Grand Prix. If that really helped you guys wanting to get faster at this circuit, then be sure to stick around for one more track guide video, which will be the Canadian Grand Prix coming up in the next day or two. As you guys all know, F1 25 is well and truly out. You might have already seen the first impressions video, and something that I probably didn't mention, I'll be getting Breaking Point done and dusted and over with very quickly before I move on to either my team or Driver Career. Probably more my team, given that it's had the big revamp. So whilst you're going to see the rest of F1 24 Driver, F1 25 gameplay will be out in the not so distant future. But guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next one, I'll be seeing you guys again very soon.